these are the giveaways we'll be sending you after the end of each session. Today, day one, after the day one, these are the giveaways. You can read it, or you don't even have to read it. I'm just showing it to you. These are the giveaways after day two. You can see a lot of manuals, samples, formulation, formulas, different formats, all these resources coming your way. These are the giveaways for day three. Make sure you attend all the 3 days. All right. So there are some of you who may want help from us, which is skill arbitrage. You want help from us even after this bootcamp to help you, to handhold you in building your career where you perform US corporate and tax compliance, accounting, bookkeeping, and tax work. And for such people, there is great news. During this bootcamp, we will also make a scholarship offer for only 42 attendees, especially only for 42 attendees. All right. This scholarship offer we'll make tomorrow, not today. Who would want professional help from us? It is not for everyone, but for some of you, it will be just the right fit. Anyway, even the rest of you are getting lots of free resources and learnings from this bootcamp. In any case, you'll be getting all of that. So don't feel bad if you can't get the scholarship for some reason. Okay. So now tell me, I'm asking you a question now. Who is ready to spend the next 3 hours exploring more information about the opportunities in the US corporate and tax compliance work and how learning US corporate and tax skills and qualifying as an enrolled agent can completely change your career? How many of you are ready to learn this? If you're ready, write ready, R-E-A-D-Y, ready in the chat and mark everyone. If you're ready, please mark everyone, write ready. All right, great. Perfect. Let's move forward. I can see many of you are ready. All right. So we are here to explore an incredible opportunity. But before we start talking about what the opportunity is, we need to first acknowledge what is in the background of the opportunity. In background of every opportunity, there is a problem. That's why it becomes an opportunity. And we cannot effectively move forward without addressing what the problem is. All right. All right. So let's address what the problem is. So let's take a moment and address the problem. So what are the most common problems that are faced by professionals like you, people who are working in accounting, compliance, and finance or taxation domain? What are the most common problems that you face? Tell me in the chat. In your career, as of now, what are the most common problems that you face? You can tell me in the chat and mark everyone, please. Legal litigation, client base, okay. Client base, I understand. Marketing, delay in payments, timely changes in law, fees growth, low payments, no roadmap, how to enter in softwares, okay, competition, got it. How to get new clients, growth, very good, very good. Reliability, okay, no skills, okay, got it. So these are the most common problems that you face, right? Now here are the ones that we have heard the most. Let's listen to what we have heard, okay? So it is very difficult to earn well for people who just have an undergraduate qualification. Even if they are in bookkeeping or finance or compliance, accounting or taxation, unless you have a professional degree like CA, CMA or MBA. It is very difficult to get well-paid jobs. Correct? If you find this problem for yourself also, you can write yes. Another problem is you start by earning really low salaries. Even CA, CS and CMAs struggle to earn well despite working very hard. Less than 1% of them secure jobs in Big Fours. Can you imagine that 99% people don't secure jobs in Big Fours or any other reputed organizations for that matter? But almost everyone else faces income and growth challenges other than that 1%. Very true, right? I can see your chats. So these are the giveaways for another problem. For those who start their own practice or firms, it is not easy to get high paying and top clients because clients often tend to prefer the big four firms. and other larger firms to send their work to. So, problem of clientele, finding the right client, growing in your business. Another problem is regular work of secretarial or tax compliance and audits is becoming more and more simplified
Hello, ready.
and extremely competitive, with tens of thousands of professionals doing it at very low prices. So, another problem is low prices. Most of the other clients don't seem to care much about high quality services. They just want the signature or filing to be done at the cheapest cost. That's what the clients want. They don't care about the quality. They care about the signature and the file kar do. Kisi tarah, just file it. Complete the work. Many
I'm all
online
ready.
startups which do
Whenever you are.
bookkeeping work or accounting, tax filing, and other work have already driven down the prices to rock bottom. That is another problem. And then there is a threat of AI. How many of you have threat for AI? You can say yes, AI. Write AI in the chat. That AI will take away your easy jobs if you're doing a repetitive tasks. Wherever the repetitive tasks are involved, that part of the job will be taken away by AI. That is another problem. And with the constant ups and downs in the market, finance and compliance professionals are always under pressure, wondering how to bill clients, how much to charge, and how to justify their fees in such a competitive and price sensitive environment. Absolutely. Imran, I can't speak without the slides, okay? Just letting you know. There's a 3 hour of content. It is in the slides, okay? So keep listening. Don't get distracted by the slides. Just keep looking at my face if you get distracted by the slides. There is a huge demand on you to specialize and differentiate. But what do you need to specialize in and how can you do it? That is the question on the table, right? There's a huge demand on you, but what to do and how to do. If we look 10 to 20 years back, it was very different. Your seniors may be shocked to hear how much things have changed today. Now, what can you do in this situation? You are a hardworking person, you are a committed person, but you don't see such opportunities. You don't see, all these problems you are faced by. What can you do? What is the solution to this? Is it not reasonable to get a job that pays well or build your own practice where you can earn 1 to 2 lakh rupees a month? It is not. Is it not reasonable to expect that, or at least strive for that and get that result? It is very much reasonable, but that doesn't happen so easily. So what do you do instead? It is time to look for high demand and low supply skills. You need the skills that the new economy is looking for. Yes, that is the answer. High demand, low supply skills. You need to look for those skills and procure them, and then supply those skills to the right people. Once you have some skills that are actually valuable in the market, you need to build a track record, your credibility. And the third step will be, so first was skills, second is building a track record, and third will be outreach. Outreach means reaching out to the right people. When you have the skills, you have a track record, credibility, now reach out to people and supply those skills to them who have the need of that skill. Remember that you are paid for the skills, not for your degree. If you can do the work for the US clients or any other clients, they'll be happy to pay you. They don't care about your degree. Now let us look at what is happening on the global stage. Are you ready, guys? Are you with me so far, listening to me completely? You can say yes if you are fully with me. Because we are now moving to the next part, which is we are looking now at the global stage, what is happening in the global stage. Did you know that 3,40,000 accountants and auditors in the US have quit their jobs between 2019 to 2024? How many of you knew this? 3,40,000 accountants and auditors in the US have quit their jobs in these 5 years. You can see this report from Fortune. It says the US is short by 3,40,000 accountants. Just look at the wave of earning report mistakes. US businesses are experiencing a severe shortfall of accountants, finance, tax, and compliance professionals who can perform their annual tax and compliance filings. There's a shortfall. What is the reason for this sudden shortfall? There are many reasons. Listen to them. Existing finance, accounting, and compliance and tax professionals who were part of the baby boomer generation. Baby boomer generation was who were growing up in the 60s. People who are really dedicated, intelligent, people who would study, do a lot of hard work. They were growing up in the 60s. That they are now retiring, creating vacancies at the senior level. Not enough students and professionals take up finance or accounts or tax or compliance work as a professional in the US in today's day and age, with people leaning towards humanities, liberal arts, and other disciplines. Do you know the young students, the people who are there in US today, they don't like maths, they don't like accounts. Some of them do, but most of them don't. And people are moving towards humanities, liberal arts, and other disciplines. This is creating a huge scarcity of talent. Startups, SMEs, and service businesses owners are the worst hit. Why? Because they cannot afford very high charging CPAs, CMAs there. They can only give specific amounts of money. But so such people are not there. There's a scarcity of jobs there, scarcity of talent. So how does this affect you? What is the opportunity for you now? There is a huge scarcity of finance, accounting, and tax compliance professionals for millions of US businesses. Now listen to this keenly. There are 34.8 million small businesses in the US. Can you imagine that? Almost 35 million. Now, how much is that? 3.5 crore. 35 million is 3.5 crore small businesses in the US, which is basically 99.9% of all businesses in the US. So means what? That out of 100% of businesses in the US, 99.9% are small businesses. More than 5.2 million new businesses are started in the US in just 1 year. 5.2 million is 52 lakh new businesses, small businesses were started in the US in just 1 year, 2024. Can you imagine that? That is the kind of movement which is happening in the business, the growth in the US for businesses. You can see it from this chart here. Number of small businesses in the US. 2019, there were 30.7 million. 2025, so far there are 34.8 million, but 2024 was 34.7 million. These were new businesses, small businesses, not new, sorry, they were small businesses in the US. So the increase has been there throughout. In comparison, if you look at India, only 1.85 lakh companies are incorporated every year. Can you imagine that? How many were there in the US every year? In 2024, there were 52 lakhs, and in India, 1.85 lakhs, which is almost, in US, almost 30 times bigger, 30 times more. Can you see the size of the US market? Now, which are the sectors in the US in which SMEs most desperately need professionals for accounting, bookkeeping, tax compliance work, related work? Which are these sectors in the US? So these are the sectors. You can see it on your screen. Technology, AI, software, fintech, finance technology, e-commerce, online retail, healthcare, construction, contracting, real estate, renewable energy, professional services firms, which includes consulting, marketing, law, etc. Now, as an Indian finance, tax, compliance, or accounting professional, you have a fantastic opportunity to cater to international businesses, especially those in the US market. Now, why I'm saying that, I will tell you that in more detail now. But you should understand this. If you are a finance, tax, compliance, accounting professional in India, you have a massive opportunity in the US. The US has 14 million e-commerce businesses alone. 1.4 crore e-commerce businesses alone, all of which need support in accounting, bookkeeping work. Now, how many e-commerce websites are there? There are nearly 26.5 million e-commerce websites in the world. And out of these 26.5, 14 million are in the US. Can you imagine? Which is almost like 65% of the world is in the US. Yes, 57% of all Shopify stores in the world are from the US. There are 5.23 million online stores which use Shopify in the US. 5.2 million, which means 52 lakhs. Now, this shortfall, which shortfall I'm talking about? The scarcity of accountants, scarcity of tax compliance and compliance people, professionals. Now, that shortfall has created massive opportunities for Indian finance, accounts, and compliance professionals. That shortfall of the talent in the US has a big opportunity for you, especially those who are exploring and preparing for enrolled agent exam or who want to break into the US tax and compliance work. Now keep listening to this. You will see the opportunity here when I'm creating this, okay? Don't get distracted for anything. Keep listening. Moreover, it is harder for SMEs or startups and service businesses to find enough of these professionals in the US. Why it is harder? You will listen to this. Or to even afford US level salaries because they are small businesses. They don't have so much of budget. So they are open to giving remote assignments to Indian finance, accounting, compliance, and tax professionals, or even students who can do the work. Yes, because if they give that remote assignment, they'll be costing much less than the US professionals. US tax and compliance work is highly similar. Almost 80% is same. Only the forms, authorities, and filing procedures are different. So Indians can easily learn it and do it. This is putting a huge stress on existing CPAs as well. CPAs are, as I said, they are CAs in US. So the existing CAs of US, they are also coming under huge stress because shortage of talent. There are almost 6.7 lakh CPAs in the US. They welcome cost-effective assistance from Indian professionals for various kinds of accounting, tax compliance, filing related requirements because it reduces their cost and makes them more profitable. Can you understand this? 6.7 lakh CPAs are there in the US and they are welcoming cost-effective assistance from Indian remote workers because much lesser cost. If they can do the work, they'll be much more cheaper for them. So they'll be more profitable. If you are an enrolled agent, for example, it acts as a bonus. Your credentials give you more credibility and it allows you to handle IRS related matters directly. Internal Revenue Services, this is the department, Revenue Department of US, Federal Revenue Department of US, which is called IRS. So you can handle IRS related matters directly, making you even more valuable to clients across the world if you are an enrolled agent. And I'll tell you how you can become one. You don't need a US degree for that. Or to pass the US or Indian CA or CS exams. You don't need all of that. Or even hold a CPA license. You don't need a CPA license for becoming an enrolled agent. We can show you how to incorporate a company in the US, handle basic tax registrations, and even complete filings, all while working remotely from India. Can you imagine that? You can do what all kind of work? You can incorporate companies in the US, sitting in India, handle basic tax registrations, complete filings for your tax filings. Everything you can do sitting here in India without all these qualifications, all while working remotely from India. Yes, you heard it right. Even if you're not qualified CA or CS in India, you can still confidently take on these tasks and get paid for it. Yes, that is the big opportunity. Did you know that? How many of you knew this? Fabulous. I can see a lot of you can see the new opportunity here. Great. It is possible to earn $10 to $20 per hour for this kind of work, which translates to approximately 50,000 to 1 lakh per month if you just do 3 to 4 hours of work every day. Just by working 3 to 4 hours a day for US clients, you can earn 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees extra every month. And if you're doing full-time work like that, you can earn 1.6 to 2 lakh rupees per month. How is that? Do you get paid like that in the beginning as a CA, even as a CA, or as a accounts or a bookkeeping person? No, not in India, right? Some of these assignments take just 15 to 30 minutes and you could charge 50 to $100 for them as well. How is that? If you're working in any finance or tax, compliance or accounting role in India, it doesn't matter if you're a CA or CS or not, and would like to earn 3 to 5 times more, this is of direct interest to you. How many of you agree with me? Just read what is written on the slide and tell me yes or no on the chat. How many of you agree with this? Absolutely yes, right? I agree. Very good. Shruti, $20 in the beginning is not less. Trust me. in the beginning. I'm not
This
saying
is
for
per
everything.
hour getting into your pocket. If you break down the cost for a 1 lakh rupee job in India, how many of you have done this exercise? None of the office jobs are 8-hour office jobs. Huh? By the way, if you're getting even 1 lakh rupees in an office job in a month, it will break down. Maybe you're working 10 hours or 11, 12 hours a day, 5 days, 6 days a week. It will break down to around 350 to 400 rupees an hour. Okay, now $20 is 4 times more than that going right into your pocket. Okay, so it is 4x, right? And the kicker is this, that's $20 an hour if you charge. But point is not that. A lot of our students, like when they are doing incorporation, because the foreigners charge so much, they just charge $50 for one LLC or C Corp, and Sagar will show you how to create C Corp here. And you're sitting right here and you'll create one in Delaware. It is like that magical. And they charge $50 or $100 for that. And it takes about 15 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, and they earn for that, right? So this is also possible. Now, why are we not showing tax return first? Because this is something which is not theory right away practical. Then we will show you tax return also from perspective of EA exam. Okay, because our goal at skill arbitrage is two things. That you should be able to get skills that are relevant in the new age remote economy, get US and UK and all those kinds of clients and remote employers, right? So that's the practical side. And we have been assisting Indian accountants, bookkeepers, tax professionals, compliance professionals to do this for about 2.5 years now. And they were getting so much work. Okay, they don't have to do any CPA, they don't even have to be fully qualified CAs, even BCom grads are getting. And then we realized that we missed something. What did we miss? An MCQ exam called Enrolled Agent exam in India, which is conducted. You know why they are conducting it in India? Why they are conducting it? They could have conducted it in US, right? But they know that there is a scarcity, right? So they tied up with a private or their organization. They have it in centers in India, and you can give that exam. And the syllabus is already the same, and it's MCQ. So if you can create a Delaware C Corp answering the MCQ, so is far easier, right? That is the point, and we will show you how to network with potential clients, agencies, all of that. Okay, and also with CPAs. What are you saying, Kishan? It is there in so many cities. You will get slots. All right, Sagar.
All right, thank you. I'm just sharing my screen once again. Okay. So now we've already shared this incredible opportunity with you, right? Now, sitting here right in India, you could work for small businesses, agencies, firms, professionals, service businesses, and startups in developed countries like the US, UK, Canada, Singapore, and even Dubai. Here is the total market size of the tax return preparation service industry in the US. If you only look at the tax preparation service market in the US is $14.3 billion. That was in 2024. In fact, the estimated compliance market just for BOI filings in 2024 was $20 billion plus. Do you know what BOI reports are? This is just a report which discloses the true ownership of company shares, like who owns which, what, how many shares of a company. That is a report which has to be, the company has to produce that report if they have shareholders. So when you invest in the stock market, you may often hold the shares directly. But what if you own it through a company or an HUF or a trust? That is when you need to file something like a BOI report. An estimated 32.6 million US companies are required to submit BOI reports. And for that work, again, we need accountants. We need people who can do that work. Similarly, just the global business incorporation market is worth $10.5 billion and is projected to reach $18 billion by 2031. Which market? Global business incorporation market. The people who are incorporating businesses. I will show you how to incorporate a business in US very
Did
soon
you
for you.
realize that big BOI report point on chat? I'm just asking, let me know your response. Okay, it's just a report to say that who is the actual ultimate owner of the share, right? And that report market runs into a few $1 billion. It's mad, no? India also has that. Some of you must be doing that filing in India. It's called ultimate beneficial ownership. Yeah, Santosh Purohit, you did that report. Even some of you work in US process in a KPO in India. Then that also you've already been familiar, right? Okay. All right. Let's move.
All right. And we will show you how to incorporate companies sitting right in India for the US very soon. In few minutes from now, I'll show you that. The global corporate secretarial services market is also bigger than the Indian market. You can see it from this article of Newswire. It says corporate secretarial services market size to hit $1.4 trillion globally in 2027. By 2031, the corporate secretarial
It's
service
okay,
market.
Sagar. We have shown them. There are many, many billion-dollar markets, right? Now the question is, can Indians do this? One more we will show you, payroll and accounting services market. You can see the number. Okay. And one good news, yeah, see, $60 billion. Like that, there are another one is accounting services market. Now you have to think, how can I tap into this market, right? There is scarcity, I have cost advantage, nobody is talking about this. Big Four are silently creating their so-called global acceleration centers, hiring BCom grads, right? So now you have to think, who has done this? Has somebody done this? Because then that will say that it is possible. So Sagar is going to help you with that, and then we'll show you how to create a company so that you can believe it for yourself, right? And how is the tariff going to help? We are going to tell you. The tariff is a very good news for Indians because anytime you have more regulation means more work for whom? Tax people, accountants, compliance people, right? So tariff is always more regulation means more work. If there is recession, they will want to cost cut more, so they will give work to us, right? All of these factors work in our advantage. They cut down on illegal immigration, very good. They will turn back immigrants who were employed there. Where will that work go? It will not go to Big Four. That was a work which cannot go to Big Four. That will come to remote talent in India. Okay, cool. All right, let's move. So, is it really possible to do the work? Right? That is what we're going to show you with proof that people are doing it from tier 2 cities in India. Yeah.
Yes, so here is an example of one of our students. He's a Jamnagar based accounts professional who has earned more than 8,000 US dollars just on Fiverr, which is one of the platforms. His name is Jayesh Bhanushali. This is his profile on Fiverr. I'm a professional accountant and US corporate law and taxation expert, an Indian chartered accountant, founder, CA. This is his profile on Fiverr. These are the skills that he has. And you can find his website here. I'm just sharing this. My colleague was sharing this on the chat as a link. I'm just showing it to you. This is his website. He's based in Jamnagar. Can you see? Get started today, quick and easy LLC formation. Ready to start a business in the US? And the website goes further. How to register a company in the US, stepwise. Requirement to open a company in US. Everything is, his prices, everything is given here on the website. Why to choose us? What are the benefits? And then the kind of services they provide. Everything is given. Testimonials are also given here. Amazing, right? Now, this is a person sitting in Jamnagar providing these services to US people. Now, here is a compliance professional from Vadodara whom we help to do this. Her name is Deepika Jaradi, a Vadodara-based compliance professional who, with over 6 years of experience, has earned more than 10,000 US dollars on only Upwork. Upwork is one of the platforms. If somebody is earning money on Upwork, consider that person is earning money outside also directly from the clients. And more through direct clients she's earning. Now she's averaging 1,000 US dollars monthly from foreign clients, which is almost 90,000 rupees per month. This is her Upwork profile. This is her earnings, $45 per hour she's earning. Legal draft expert, paralegal, company law advisory. And since April 2021, we have been professionally assisting Indian finance and compliance professionals to perform such work. Finance professionals, lawyers, BCom students can do it too. You don't need to qualify as a CS or CA. I've told this many times already, but I'm again pointing it out because people should not think that if you're not a CA, you can't do it. You can easily do it, and we'll show you how simple these skills are. Another student of ours, Vijayathian, a 2022 BCom graduate, landed a high-value retainer client of 2 lakh rupees per year and multiple incorporation projects through LinkedIn within weeks of starting his freelancing journey. And he is now managing 30 clients, including 6 long-term US-based clients, with just 20 to 30 hours work every week. And there are hundreds of other students of ours, and we will tell you more about them later on. Okay? The opportunity is also not limited to working only with US clients. Indian companies, global businesses alike need to engage professionals who are trained in US corporate tax compliance when they expand to the US. Given the huge market size and higher paying capacity of the US population, the US ranks as the top destination for international expansion. Now, working with US law firms, even you can work with US law firms, by the way, CPAs exclusively is not feasible for SMEs can't do the work directly with CPAs if they are expanding internationally. And they can reduce costs significantly by engaging talent from India, like people like you. So here are the kinds of opportunities that are going to get created in this environment. So what are the opportunities coming your way? Remote work opportunities with US SMEs, startups, professional service firms. Remote work opportunities with global business expanding to the US. MNC jobs in India in finance and compliance getting created in India due to GCCs and local manufacturing being set up. Now, what are GCCs? These are organizations which are agents between the US client and services being provided from India, like KPOs or BPOs. Opportunities with Indian businesses, SMEs, startups expanding internationally, or even flipping back to India. These could be remote or in office jobs. Now, the question is, you've seen that there is potential, there is opportunity. Now, the question is, people are also doing that kind of work. Is it difficult to perform this work? How easy or difficult it is? So now let's learn a skill to understand that it is not difficult at all. So the answer is, it is not difficult. You can do it right here, sitting here in India, and I'll show it to you as an example. So the very first skill of the bootcamp, how to incorporate a company in the US, specifically Delaware. Delaware is a state in US. And how to create a C Corp. C Corp is one of the types of companies in the US. So let's learn this. Are you ready, guys? Write ready in the chat if you're ready to learn this skill. This will tell you that how easy or difficult it is to do the work for US clients. Ready? Fabulous. Great. Let's move on. The US offers a variety of business structures which have limited liability for their owners. For example, LLP, LLC, C Corp, S Corp, unlike India, which only has either LLP or company. So India has company or LLP, but in US there are many other functions, many other different structures, business structures. So we are going to show you how to incorporate a C Corp right now. Now C Corp, just to understand simply, it is similar to a private limited company in India. Okay, that's a C Corp. I will share a couple of important points of difference between C Corp and S Corp in the US.
We'll show that later. Huh? Let's show the amount that people charge for creating a C Corp. Okay.
Oh.
And then let's show how to create one.
Very good. So these are the charges. Company registration in US fees. The basic fees, absolutely basic, is 37,000 rupees. Enhanced is 53,000 and ultimate is 90,000. Means some extra services are being provided. So on an average, you can see about 50,000 rupees easily you can charge. So what to do? What is the step? Let's go to the steps now. So you have to go to the Delaware One Stop website. There is a website called Delaware One Stop. As I said, Delaware is a state in the US. So when you go to the Delaware One Stop website, you complete the stages for registering a business entity on the website. We will share this link with you. Okay, Muskan is just sharing this link with you on the chat. And I'm opening.
Is there MCA? How many of you are familiar with something called Ministry of Corporate Affairs in India? You download returns from there, or you download income tax ka, you file income tax filings on income tax ka website. This is their equivalent of ROC. Okay, so there is one difference. They have 50 states, right? We have 50. They have 50 states, and every state has this division of corporations or secretary of state. This formula, please keep. If you don't know, somebody gives you a random state name or tells you Wyoming, Missouri, I don't know, whichever state they tell you, Ohio, what you have to do is simply type uske aage division of corporations या secretary of state. You will find website. there everything will be written plug and play. US is known for having everything written down, plug and play, no lack of clarity. We will show you now. All right.
All right, great. So when we go to the website, it is on there on your chat also. You can go through it with me, or you can just see it right now and go through it in detail later on. When you open this page will open up. You can see here delaware.gov, right? This is the website. If you go down a bit, here they have options: learning, registration, licensing, hiring. So you go to registration, get started. You press here. Now, if you go down here, it says register and license your business to operate in Delaware. You can read through it in detail later on, but I'm just showing you step by step. You press this tab, register and license your business. When you press this tab, next page will open up. It says register and license your business to operate in Delaware. Now, which one you have to choose? You can read through it. There are different options. Which one do you think you should choose? First one is my business will be incorporated in Delaware, but I haven't started the process. Second one is my business is a new sole proprietorship and or partnership in Delaware. Similarly, there are many other options. Which one will you choose? Tell me in the chat. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Which one? Number 1. Because we have not started the process, right? This is the beginning of the process. And let's press start. How to form a new business entity in Delaware? There are 3 options. Option 1, 2, and 3. Which one do you want to choose? 1, 2, or 3? Begin entity formation with one stop. I think this is the one, right? Very good. So when you press there, now you have to sign in. So it is as easy to sign in like a Facebook or a Instagram like that. It is very simple. I have already signed in, so my email address is already showing and password is showing. So I go to sign in. This is for the demo sake I'm going forward. Otherwise, later on when you do it, you should sign in yourself also. Now choose your entity type. Tell me in the chat, which one do you want to choose? Sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, corporation?
Just 1 second. Can you see there are some similar names? India has sole proprietorship. India has partnership. We are creating a C Corp. Huh? So they call a company there a corporation. Okay, this is the only trick you have to know. That LLC is a different thing over there. LLC over there is different. We'll teach you what LLC is. But C Corp is basically a corporation. US में सब लोग उसको corporation बोलते हैं, company को. ठीक है? So we'll create corporation. Okay? Ready?
Right.
Yeah. Sole proprietorship, why you want to incorporate? Right now we're creating this one, right? Let's create the C Corp. All right.
Corporation is what you will click on. Now, next question is choose your corporation type. Non-stock corporation, stock corporation with director liability, or non-profit corporation.
Second concept is that in US, shares is called stocks. Some of you know it because you trade in Indian stock market, right? Otherwise, nobody calls share co stock, but there they call it stock, right? Okay, yeah.
So we will choose stock corporation, right? Where we can create shares at a later stage. So let's save and continue. Now this page will open up. You can read the overview later on. You should do that later on, but we are moving forward. Just simply press start. Then it will be asking you to write your entity name. So for the demo sake, I'll write Lawseco, for example. That's the name of our company. And save and continue. Next is stock corporation formation, registered agent and office. So we have to put the registered agent and office. So this will be provided by your client when you're doing it for your client in US. For example, I'll put my name here just for the demo sake, and I will select, I've already added this here, so I will select it from here. It has to be a correct address in Delaware. It can't be a fake address, otherwise it will not pick up. So in your case, your client will provide you the details.
You can Google a random address right now which applies to that state and their pin code, because there will be street address, right? Street address तो कहीं का भी मिल जाएगा, India का भी मिल जाएगा. So we put that in and then we go ahead. Okay? Wilmington is a place in Delaware. ये Google पे मिल गया. So we are putting it and moving forward. Why are we doing this? We are showing you that this is possible to do sitting in India, right? Okay, let's move.
All right, then you save and continue. Stock authorization. So it will ask you total number of authorized shares. So for example, I'll write 10,000 per value per share, $1. Okay, just for the demo sake, I'm doing this. Okay, just so that you get that how simple it is sitting here right in India. Next comes incorporator name. This is your client's name. So in this case, I'll just put my name. And then again, I'll select from what I already have downloaded about Delaware, an address, incorporated address. This will be your client address, okay, in Delaware. Save and continue. Now it will ask you to review and generate documents. So you have to review, yes, entity name, Losico, registered agent, Sagar, authorized shares, 10,000 per value share, $1, all of this incorporated address information. Save and continue. I'll press. Now you have already reached the stage where you can now download the document, submission instructions. So other one option is print and sign document. Third is upload document. So right now I'm going to download stock certificate. See, the certificate is already here now. State of Delaware, certificate of incorporation, a stock corporation. Name of the corporation, Losico, registered office of the corporation, and the address is given here, same as what I had put, number of shares, price, incorporated address, and then I have to take a printout of this and I have to get it signed by my client. How simple is that? Easy, guys. Can you see just step by step some forms getting filled? No rocket science. I'll just move ahead in these slides. I've already shown you all this live, so I'm moving ahead.
The process is largely similar in all states. The website is different. Their state authority name is different. It will be a Secretary of State, or it will be for some filings it's Secretary of State, for some things it is their division of corporations. Okay. Usually the states fight for what? They want office to be there because usse unko state income tax milega. Right? If it's so easy, why will they hire you? Because how many things you'll do yourself? Cooking breakfast is really easy, but I still have a cook, right? It takes time. I don't have even 10 minutes to make an egg poach, right? What to do? Should I do my work or should I fire my cook and do my egg poach cooking? Go drive instead of have a driver or have an Uber. In a time I book an Uber. It might cost me $250 for a 45-minute trip, but that $250 might be worth for you if you charge $10 an hour or $20 an hour. It's worth much more, right? This is the difference. Okay. So they need someone to take responsibility. And my friend, they don't know how to do this. If there's a mistake, then fixing it is going to be problematic. Right? This is the benefit. Understood? Okay. Yes, Sagar.
So you will need to download the form, as I already told you, print it, get a signature of the incorporator who's your client, and scan the signed document. And then you have to upload the signed certificate of incorporation on the Delaware Division of Corporations document, and you'll upload on the website and make the payment of the fees. The fees, of course, will be paid by your client. And then this is the website where you have to upload it. We are sharing this as a link to you. I'm just showing it to you. Now, given today is a Saturday, it will not open because on Saturday, Sunday, this doesn't open. But if you do it on any other day, you just have to press on this page here. Right now, it says, unfortunately, the service is not available at this time because of the weekend.
Every Saturday, Sunday, they are down for maintenance. Okay, I don't know why online site needs to do maintenance. This is some strange thing they have, but if you check it on Monday, it will work. Okay, just remember to check it on Monday. Or remind us in the bootcamp, we will play this link and show you. It will work. Okay, all right.
And we are sharing this link with you also in the chat. Okay, this is how it looks like. Select the document upload. This document upload service is not functional weekends, as I already said. And you can find the further step-by-step process and the screenshots here. We are sharing this also as a link to you. And we did it beforehand separately to share the step-by-step process already we've done. So we are sharing this entire step-by-step process. When you go on this link, you will see it. So that you learn this, like you can keep it as a handy checklist for yourself. Now, another piece of information very important about incorporation. The form will also ask you for the period of processing of the incorporation. In the normal circumstances, the charges are $89 and it takes 4 to 5 days for incorporation. But if you want to do it earlier, your client wants it same day, then the client has to pay $100 instead of $89. Same day incorporation is possible. And once you have uploaded the certificate, you will be asked to make a payment of the fees and you will instantly receive a confirmation for filing. How was this, guys? Was it easy? If it's easy and doable, write capital E, capital D on the chat. ED for easy and doable. Come on, tell me. Absolutely easy, right?
One more thing I want to let you all know. Some of you are now, how will you do this for a client who wants to establish a business in the US but they don't have office there? For example, when skill arbitrage, or we don't have office in US but we have a C Corp there. So how will you get that address? Question. Tell me on chat. How will you get the address? Which local address? I can't take a road address, right? No, Priyanka, that is for practice. You will do Google. Virtual address. Who will give me virtual address? It is somebody called a registered agent. Only take address service from them. Don't ask them to do the work. Varna, loot lenge. They will charge more and they will take the client away, right? So you have to say, look, client is mine. I just need the registered agent service, the local office. Because that costs very cheap. 8,000 rupees a year, 10,000 rupees a year, like that. We pay $130 a year. उसमें पूरा वो virtual address मिल जाता है, where if there is any regulatory notice, it will come there, it will be forwarded to us, right? That is all. You like it? Okay, we are moving ahead. Till here clear? And one of our students actually did this. Okay, and he made it in California. We are sharing the link. Yeah. How to get a virtual address? ठीक है, दिखा देते हैं सागर site से. I don't know if the link is there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
So there's a list of registered agents. I'm showing it to you. Now this, you can see Delaware Division of Corporations. These are the list of all the registered agents. Alphabetical, it is given. For example, if you press any of the alphabets, all these registered agents are given here. Everybody will have different pricing, anywhere between $50 to $300 per year. We are sharing this also as a link to you. It is very easy. And then, Abhida, should I show this video also?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So here is a video of one of our students from Bangalore, and he is pursuing CA finals and is not a CA yet. On his LinkedIn, who posted about how to create a California entity. I'm showing this to you. This is his LinkedIn profile. And then, if I just switch on the... He's created a video and put it on a LinkedIn profile. How to create a corporation in California. The volume is not coming for some reason. 1 second.
That's okay. He has screen shared it because he did it in an assignment in one of our courses. So we are sharing those insights and tricks here for free. Okay. Now somebody asked, is this a trusted person? Well, if some mutual fund advisor is registered with SEBI, you will say they are registered and trusted, right? All mutual fund advisors should be registered with SEBI, or distributors should be registered with AMFI, whatever that situation is, right? There is authority. So all these people are registered with Delaware Division of Corporations officially. तो कुछ तो देख के ही किया है, right? उसका registration चला जाएगा, अगर कुछ complaint आएगा, then they will not get all these clients. Understood? How did you find this? मतलब बैठे बैठे यहाँ से हो सकता है. Our students have incorporated in so many different states. We don't even teach all the states. There are 4-5 most important states you have to learn. I'll tell you: New York, California, Delaware, Wyoming, Florida. Okay, these are the most important ones. Texas, 6. If you do in these 6, बाकी इसी का similarity से you can do it. Okay, all right.
All right, this is very much doable, right? You already said that. So imagine that if you learn 100 such high demand skills, this is just one of them. And we've not even taught you in detail right now. We've just shown you that it is possible, that how easy it is. Just imagine if you learn 100 such skills. And do you want to learn more skills like that? In this bootcamp, we are teaching you more skills, many more skills like these for free. So make sure that you're here tomorrow as well, sharp at 7. Don't miss the learning of such awesome skills. Okay. And we will also give you a 6-month plan tomorrow that we give to our students, and they follow it and they learn these skills and they start earning within this 6 months. Now, this opportunity was not there 5 years back, by the way. And I want you to understand this. This opportunity has opened up just 5 years back. You know what happened 5 years back? The pandemic, COVID-19. Before the pandemic, the only feasible way to work for US clients was to migrate to the US, for which you needed to obtain a visa, which was extremely difficult for most Indians. Or else you had to work for a BPO, and the BPO did not pay you US level salaries like you can get remotely directly from US clients. So working remotely for US businesses were very rare at that time. No employer thought that any serious work could be done by working from home. Remote work was not an option before pandemic. However, during the pandemic, something strange happened. Silicon Valley, US SMEs, startups, law firms, CPA firms, and companies, everyone had to go remote. They didn't have a choice. It was forced. Everybody was forced to go remote. There was no choice but to learn to work remotely. And in this process, employers discovered that they can tap into a much larger and rich talent pool if they work remotely, and can be more productive and profitable by working remotely. Large companies also experienced similar benefits. Even when there was a full scale reversal of COVID, excuse me, remote work did not go away, at least for startups and SMEs. You know, right now, 16% global businesses continue to operate entirely remotely. 16%, 16% is a huge number of global businesses. You can see it from this Forbes article. 16% of companies operate fully remote. 93% of employers plan to continue conducting job interviews remotely. Now, the future of work is changing. 70% of global workforce will work remotely. Can you imagine that? 70% of global workforce will work remotely. Even though Fortune 500 and large corporations in the US are against remote work, SMEs have no options but to hire remotely owing to higher wages in the US and severe talent scarcity. The Fortune 500 and MNCs are already benefiting from talent arbitrage by offshoring to their Indian global capacity centers, which were JCCs. You remember I told you about JCCs? Or BPOs. They're also called BPOs. But SMEs do not have sufficient volume of homogeneous work or the capital to offshore to a BPO or to create a GCC. So they go remote. So as a result, they are not as competitive as larger corporations which can offshore. But they can work with individual freelancers remotely from India. That is people like you, people who are having the talent and they don't charge as much as the big companies charge. So would you like to jump on the bandwagon and be a part of this world? How many of you would want that for yourself? Come on, tell me in the chat. Do you see an opportunity for yourself, personally for yourself here, and you would want to jump onto this bandwagon? Absolutely yes, right? Only a fool will say no to such an awesome opportunity, right? Absolutely true. The US is set to become a majority freelance economy by 2027. You can see it from this graph. You see 2020, almost 60 million freelancers in the US, and it is going further. 70% of all the jobs in the US are going to become remote by 2027. This is your opportunity. If they will work remotely with US workers, why not with Indian workers, provided that you can do the work, and that too at a fraction of the cost. That means some of the most life-changing opportunities can be accessed remotely now. You could work for employers or clients in California, sitting in Meerut, or Texas, sitting in Lucknow, or New York, sitting in Dhule, even London or Dubai. It is a game changer for Indians and other compliance professionals from developing countries, because we have a massive cost advantage over the rest of the world. And as a compliance professional who can jump into the remote version of Silicon Valley that exists on the internet today, You could be part of the virtual Wall Street ecosystem without having to wait for a visa. Why just Silicon Valley? You could work for SMEs, startups, firms, other clients in London, Berlin, Dubai, Shanghai, Tokyo, Kuala Lumpur, Tel Aviv, etc. Now, the question is, do you want to learn how to find these US clients? How many of you want to know now that how to find these US clients? Sitting here in Meerut, sitting here in Lucknow, sitting here in Dhule, how to find such clients? Do you want to learn this? You want to learn this skill? So let's learn how to network with US CPAs. We will show you later how to network with individual startups, US startups, SMEs, agencies as well. So right now, let's look and see how to reach out to fast growing and small and medium sized businesses for tax and corporate compliance work. Excuse me. So working for high potential small and medium sized businesses, SMBs, across various industries is a great way to establish a track record. Now, these businesses need cost effective talent and are more open to working with new entrants compared to larger or established corporations. Why are they more open to working with new entrants? Because new entrants charge less and because they have a lot of work, so they are ready to bring in a lot of new entrants. Because startups are anyways a new organization, right? So they don't mind working with new people. They appreciate high quality work, but at this stage, they are not able to work with established US CPAs or corporate secretaries because they don't have that budget. Yet these startups are expanding very fast and they are in dire need of help. So your goal is to start targeting small and medium sized businesses in the US, especially those with growth potential and needing specialized support, usually under 20 people. They will value any help that they can get. So how do you find high potential US startups and SMEs? So let me ask you, how many of you, if you have heard of Y Combinator, please write yes in the chat. Have you heard of Y Combinator? No, okay, most of you know. Techstars, Shark Tank. I'm sure Shark Tank, many of you would have heard, right? Right, many of you have heard Shark Tank. Now, who are these people? Who are these organizations? They are called incubators or accelerators. They are called accelerators. Now, who are accelerators? There are organizations who fund. They are venture capitalists, like they are funding startups. So they search for nascent startups, high potential startups. They pick up high potential startups and fund them. And when the startups grow, their funding also grows, like their money grows with them. So we will find these new startups through accelerators in the US, Europe, London. So I will tell you how to find these startups. Let's see. So if you go to a new page, go to Google search, and simply write Y Combinator. Okay, ycombinator.com. This page will open up. You can do it side by side if you want. Very simple. You don't need any registration for this. So when you go to Y Combinator, go to companies here and go to startup directory. When you go to startup directory, you will see all these companies which have been funded by Y Combinator. Airbnb, I'm sure you've heard of this name. Dropbox, I'm sure you've heard of Dropbox also. So these are all companies which are funded by Y Combinator. Amazing, right? Thousands of them. Now, do you want to look for small and new startups or old and big startups? So if you want to look for small and new, then write SN, capital S, capital N, small new. Or if you think you should look for old and big startups, then write OB. SN or OB? Which one do you think we should look for? Oh, great. Everybody's writing, except for one person, everybody's writing SN. Very good. Small and new. Why? Because we already said the new startups need the maximum help. They will be ready to give you the work. So for that, we'll go for last two batches, which is the newest. So if you press last two batches here, then it will filter out. So all these are new startups, which are already funded by Y Combinator. So let's go to one of them, Linewise. Let's read about Linewise. So when you go on profile of Linewise, this page will open up. You can read about the company. Linewise is an AI troubleshooting platform that helps manufacturing teams resolve issues faster and reduce internal escalations. by leveraging organization-specific knowledge. All these details, you can even go to the website of Linewise and read more details. But what we are interested in right now, showing you how to reach out to their founders. On this page, you will see it was founded in 2024, so not very old, just 1 year, within last 12 months. Batch, this is 2025 batch, latest. Team size only 5 people, so it's a small startup, small and new. Let's go down, active founders, and here we see Tana chart. James is the name of the person. Let's go to his LinkedIn profile. You press his LinkedIn logo there and his profile will open up. You can read about this guy, the founder, his posts, everything you can read. And to write to him directly, you can just press here, message. If the message box has a arrow, left side there's an arrow like this, then this is open. So you just press message and here you can type an old email to him. How is that? And this email will directly reach to the founder's email box or through LinkedIn. Simple, guys. Easy to reach out to this guy. Okay, same way, let's go to another one. Let's go to another example. Okay, let's go to Rimba. Okay, Rimba has Akshay Sharma, Indian guy. Okay, great. You can again go to his LinkedIn profile. Compliance and permits for biogas in Americas. Again, message is open, press here. If just in case message box doesn't have an arrow, you can go to more, you go to connect and add a note. Same page will open up. Here also you can write 200 words. Simple, easy, like it. Okay, great. For now I'm closing this. Let's go back to the slide. What to write to them? What do you want to pitch to them?
Sorry. Can I just show them Clutch also?
Sure, go ahead. There's another way to reach out to small businesses. Rian is showing you.
Good to be with you guys. किसी को ऐसा लगता है कि यार बहुत सारी companies नहीं चाहिए It's good to have as many options as possible, right? So what you do, I'm just going to show you one more directory that also works really well. Just like Y Combinator, so you go to Google and you type Clutch, right? Clutch. Just type this and you will be redirected to this page, right? You will be asked to make an account and this is what your page will look like, right? Now, in Clutch, the industries have been sorted below as well. So you can click on any of these industries or you can select any one. So for now, let's just say that I'm going to go for maybe a digital marketing company. And here in the location, you write the United States location, right? That we do on any other website, Myntra or जैसे हम filter करते हैं, same strategy, United States. And then you just click get started, right? You will be redirected to all the companies in the United States which are in this incredible directory. You can see right here, the web FAX hai, you can see disruptive advertising. All these are digital marketing. You can change that as well. You can select any industry. Then there are other filters also that you can go and use if you want to get more specific. कि आपको e-commerce में जाना है, you want information technology, you can sort that out. You can go more specific with the location as well. You want to go to Delaware, Texas, you can type that here and it will keep getting sorted. So it's basically just a sorting exercise that you have to do. Once you found the company that you like, just click on the name of the company. See if the LinkedIn website is cited right here. If the owner is not mentioned, you can then go to visit website and try and find the LinkedIn address there. So whenever you visit the website, always look at the bottom of the website. That is where you are going to find the social media handles, right here. You can click on LinkedIn. This will open the LinkedIn for the company. I'll show you how you can reach out to the individual owner as well. So see, you've reached the company. Now you can, go on the people section and you can try to find the name of the founder. Usually he'll be mentioned at the top. अगर नहीं मिलता है तो यहाँ पे founder लिख के देखना. There, senior content, co-founder. Now you can just send the outreach message that, Sagar is going to teach you. So you can see I can find the CEO also. She's not a member, but I can reach out to the co-founder. And that way you have thousands and thousands.
One more, Brian, just can you go back? You can show the financing wala. Just go back. Business consulting and finance wala companies on Clutch. Yeah. There's a whole segment below. You go back. Yeah, scroll down. So if you see business services, right? accounting, HR services, accounting consulting में बहुत करेंगे. They will need a lot of this work. Okay, because they are providing this service to clients and they want more people who are good and cost effective, right? And you can see Indinero. It's based in Walnut, California. 30% accounting, 50% finance accounting service, 15% fractional CFO. तो इनको बहुत जरूरत है. Yeah, so you can pitch to these agencies. Is a very good idea. इधर बहुत सारी agencies आए. 31,485. You can see here, right? How are you feeling now? Listening to all this, these things nobody tells, right? We are showing you how to go ahead and how to pitch, how to do everything, correct? Okay, great. Now Sagar will show you the message, and Brian, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, and we will move ahead. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, this is good. You can just sort it out on the basis of the size for a smaller company.
Those are filters you all can navigate through. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we'll show you the pitch and then we'll move.
All right. So you saw how to reach out to these people, right? How to reach to their email boxes. Now let's see what you can write to them. Here is what you can write. You can even take a screenshot of this if you want. Hi XYZ. I am a compliance professional deeply engaged in the startup ecosystem and would love to support your startup in any way that I can. All I want in exchange is your positive review on my LinkedIn or Upwork profile. This is not a commercial proposal. I'm looking for learning opportunities and wish to help startup founders like you in the process on a pro bono basis. Pro bono basis means what? No fees right now, only some exchange effort. Like, I'll just share that with you. I'm already helping few startups on a pro bono basis. I would like to assist you remotely on pro bono basis. I can also support you by writing articles about your startup that will help you to get more early adopters. Can I help you with any of these? And then you list down the things that you can do for them. Ideally, find out what are the most common problems that startups face with respect to compliance, tax, bookkeeping, accounting, and international expansion. Then you can further write, I can help you with expanding your business to the US, incorporation, ongoing compliance at federal and state level. I can help you to plan out your international expansion strategy in that tax efficient manner. I can help you create and implement ESOP plans and assist you in preparing for investments. Do due diligence and review your investment agreements so that you don't have to worry about the paperwork as you grow your business. I can also draft and help you execute legal binding contracts in offshore jurisdictions. I can help you with accounting and US tax compliance. Then you add this specifically if you are an accountant. I can help you with research, content marketing work, community building, writing white papers, solve hard governance problems, document review, and perform any administrative work that can be done remotely. I can help you to avoid any rude regulatory or governance shocks, such as big penalties or show cause notices from authorities. Now, many businesses may not immediately have the need of all this kind of work mentioned above, which is why it is important to mention that you can assist with them a few other types of works like research, community building, writing articles, etc. So that you can at least get started with building a relationship with these people. At this stage, it is not important that you earn money from them. At this stage, you are building your network. You're creating your credibility that you can do the work for them. You're building relationships. Remember to reach out to startups that are not already big, preferably pre-series A, under 20 members. They are the small and new ones. Now, these startups badly need help, and any help is welcome. And you spread your bets by helping several such startups. And when they raise more investments, they grow bigger. Will they not rely on you? As they will be hungry for people they can rely on. And apart from US startups, you can also target international startups from other developed countries which want to expand in the US market. The US remains the top destination for global startups which want to expand internationally. And there are 2,800 plus such accelerators like Y Combinator in the US alone. You can see it from this article of Traction. It says 2,800 plus accelerators, incubators in the US. There's a whole list. If you just type accelerate list of top accelerators in US, you'll find a whole list on Google. Y Combinator is not the only startup accelerator. There are hundreds of startup accelerators all over the US. And here we are sharing a list of 300 such accelerators with you. Muskan is just sharing this on the chat with you. She's already done that. You can go through it in detail later on. You could get more remote work, remote jobs, or even sponsorships for your visa once the startup raises funding and grows bigger, and you can grow bigger with that startup. Now, do you see our strategy here? Do you see the plan? Do you see the strategy? How many of you can start to see the strategy here? How to reach out, what to say to them, what kind of work you can do for them. You can see the strategy. And how many of you are excited seeing the big opportunity and how you can reach out to such people? Many of you are excited, right? Fabulous. Lakshmi is writing excited. Himanshu is excited. Krishna is excited. Fabulous. Great. Guys, this is the opportunity right now. And we are going to create this opportunity bigger and bigger for you in this bootcamp. And you can even try this exercise at home. Going to the, Y Combinator or any other accelerator, finding those people. Clutch is another way, like Rehan's told you. Remember that if you do a bad job, when you get a chance, they will not like it. So this only works when you can deliver the results and not waste their time. So did you learn something new? How was it for you learning this skill? All right. Got it, Abhiday. Great, right? It was really great. Just give me 1 minute. So now what I'm going to do with you is, so I can see your chats, okay? Many of you are excited and you are getting the whole opportunity in front of you. So at this stage, I want to share and create something with you. Just hang in. Yeah, so this is what I want to create with you. I'm just sharing my screen once again. So how will the new tariffs, you know that, right? That Donald Trump, the president of US, has levied new tariffs on all over the world, many countries, especially China and of course India also. How will the
Sagar, this is the wrong one.
The wrong one means?
You did preference list.
Okay. 403. Okay, sorry. Okay, got it. So I'm going to come back to that, but before that, I want to share this opportunity with you because at this stage, this is very, very important. So how many of you are ready to receive professional help from us moving forward after seeing this opportunity? Because many of you have been asking us about the courses that we have to offer. So if there are people who are ready to receive professional help at this stage, I want to say one thing, that I will tell you more about that opportunity tomorrow. But we are giving special scholarship, a very, very special scholarship tomorrow to 42 participants who want to do this kind of work in this boot camp. We are sharing 42 scholarships tomorrow. But for now, we want to know how many of you are interested. And tomorrow, make sure that you're there. Okay, tomorrow we will be starting sharp at 7. So don't miss the session. Make sure that you have an alarm set up, a reminder set up, and you don't miss the session. Now I will going to share a preference list. Those who are interested in the scholarship should fill it up. It is important for us to know that how many people are interested. All right, so I'm sharing this list with you, preference list it is called. Muskan, Ayushi has just shared it on the chat. And when you press, if you're interested in knowing more about the scholarships and interested in the scholarships which will be offered to you tomorrow, your name should be there in the preference list, okay? So how do you fill it? I'm filling my name, you fill your name, okay? Don't type my name. I'm just giving you a demo. So you put your name, you put your email address, select your country, put your mobile number. What do you do? Mention that. What is your education background? How many years of experience do you have? And what do you expect to achieve in your career with this scholarship? Okay, and then you press apply now. When you press apply now, then you are all set. Your name is given on the scholarship, the preference list. So if you're interested to know more about the scholarships, you must add your name to this preference list. And if just in case that link is not working, then you can use this QR code also. You will directly reach the preference list page. All right. All right. And then what is the scholarship exactly? We will tell you that about that tomorrow. For now, I just want to see the level of interest in this group. This will actually help us to gauge how many people are interested in learning the US corporate and tax compliance work, given that there are thousands of people who had signed up for this bootcamp. All right, guys, take a minute, everybody. Fill in your name in the preference list now if you're interested.
Let's go to 345.
Yeah. And everybody else, take a minute and quickly fill in your names on the preference list, people who are interested to know about the scholarships. 349 you said, right?
345.
Okay. Okay. So I'm hoping that you have already filled it, and now we are moving on to the next part.
We'll tell you fees, don't worry, it will be very affordable, but we have only like done half the opportunity. Okay, it's even bigger and better. All right, Sagar.
All right. Okay, great. So now let's create a qualification that gives you a massive advantage. Which qualification? The enrolled agent qualification. Let me tell you more about that. And once you start doing this, you can also start doing what? All the work that we shared with you. You learn the skills, you learn how to do your track record building, and then start doing outreach. So you're building your relationship with the right clients, right people. So at that stage, now you can start preparing for the enrolled agent exam, which is of the US IRS, which can be attempted from India. You don't have to travel to US to attempt this exam. And enrolled agent can represent clients before the US IRS. IRS is the Internal Revenue System, I think, right? Internal Revenue
Service.
Sorry. So the US IRS, you can represent your clients in front of US IRS in all tax matters for clients from all over the world, even if you live in India. Now, what all can an EA do? What all can you do as an enrolled agent? Number one, you can prepare and file federal tax returns on behalf of their clients in their own name all over the US. Even CPAs cannot do this. They are restricted to doing this within a specific state only. But you as an enrolled agent can do it for all over the US. You can help them with US IRS audits. You can respond to any federal tax notices. You can participate in appeals if there is an adverse order or other federal tax proceedings. These are conducted virtually, so you can do it from India. Here you can see from this article, from this website, IRS website, appeals expands access to video conferences. So you can even address these appeals through video conferencing. It's a golden ticket, and there is almost no competition right now. Register for our 3-day free bootcamp. You already part of that, right? There are only 65,000 enrolled agents in the US. That's it. You can be part of that group, elite group of people who are an enrolled agent in the US. And you know what are the earnings? $90,000 to $180,000 per annum. You know how much that is in rupees? Almost 80 lakh to 160 lakhs, 1 crore 60 lakhs per annum, which is almost like 10 to 15 lakh rupees per month in rupees. That is the earning of an enrolled agent. You can see it from here. That's the average, $89,000 per annum. Imagine earning just, even if you don't earn, $80,000 or $90,000, even if you earn only $30,000 per year, would that make a difference to you? For how many of you would that make a big difference if you start earning $30,000 per year, sitting right here in India? How would that be for you? You know how much that is? Almost 2.5 lakh rupees per month, sitting right here in India. How would that be for you? Awesome, right, Hema? That will make a big difference, Sarfaraz is saying. Awesome, Umesh. Great. Absolutely great, right? 2.5 lakh rupees sitting here, right here in India. And do you know what kind of passing rate is there? I'll just share that with you. A graduate in any stream can become an enrolled agent. Yes, you don't have to be a CA. You don't have to be a CS. You can be a graduate of any stream. You don't even have to be a BCom graduate, for example. Provided you clear the special enrollment examination, which is the SEE, which includes what all? There are only 3 papers. There are no negative marking. The exam is available almost 10 months in a year, and it is available in India. Plus, the best part is 66% passing rate. Wow, 66. That means with some preparation, with proper preparation, I will tell you how much preparation you need to do. With a proper preparation, there is almost a guarantee that you will clear it if you are preparing properly. I'll show it to you. Would you then find it more encouraging to prepare for the exam if it is 66% passing rate? Do you need additional qualification like MCOM, MBA, CPA, CA, CMA? No, not at all. You don't need any of these qualifications to become an enrolled agent. An enrolled agent credentials is issued directly by the IRS in the US, and there is no academic or professional prerequisites for that. What matters is your ability to pass the SEE exam, a 3-part test which we have covered below. Below means ahead. So once you clear the exam and complete the background check, you can become an enrolled agent, even if you hold a degree in arts or law or engineering or none of the above at all. So let me break it down further for you. This examination has 3 parts. Part number 1, individual taxation, which includes filing status, deductions, credits, income types. That's part 1. Part 2, business taxation, sole proprietorships, partnerships, S Corp, C Corp. Part number 3, representation practices and procedures, which is for IRS, IRS authority, client representation, ethics. So these are 3 parts of the examinations. Now I'm also sharing a link with you with a comprehensive syllabus of all 3 parts of the enrolled agent examination. You can see pages 14 to 20 of this document. It will give you comprehensive syllabus of the entire thing. And my colleague Muskan has just now shared with you on the chat this link. Remember, 14 to 20 page number. Not right now, later on you can see it. Okay, what else? Let's look at. We will also show you how to prepare for the exam as well. The exam is multiple choice question based, and each part consists of 100 questions with the duration of 3.5 hours per section. You can appear for 1 paper at one time in any order. Good news is that this exam can be written from centers in New Delhi, Bangalore or Hyderabad. No need to travel to the US. Here are the official test centers in India: Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi, Trivandrum. While it takes years to become a CA or CPA, you can prepare for EA by preparing for just 6 months for just 1.5 hours per day. That is it. And as I said, 66% passing rate, which is so high as compared to CA or CPA or any other qualification exams in India. Top preparation time is around 250 hours. And as already mentioned, there is no negative marking. In fact, we recommend that you prepare for this exam while you are learning and building your track record as a US corporate compliance and tax professional. Now, what are the costs of this exam? Each part costs $259. And since there are 3 parts, the total exam fee comes to approximately $777. And once you've cleared all the papers, there's a one-time enrollment fees of $140 to activate your EA status with the IRS. Now you can manage this all under $1,000. So approximately 85,000 rupees for the entire cost of the exam. After that, you will also need to apply for the Prepare Tax Identification Number, which is called PTIN, and finish a simple administrative process. You don't need to travel to the US of any of these processes. Competition is very low because there are very few people with this qualification compared to the growing number of entities incorporated in the US or doing businesses with the US. Now, how difficult is it to crack this exam? Much easier than any CA or CS exam in India. On an average, 2 out of 3 candidates pass all 3 parts of the exam every year. That is a 66% passing rate. Can you see from this article here, this chart? All the 3 levels, these are the last 3 years, 66, 55, 60, 72, 62, 69. On an average, it is 66%. Excuse me. Even in India, EAs can earn a salary between 1 to 2 lakh rupees per month by working with finance and tax KPOs. Even if you don't want to work for US clients, you can, if you're a EA, you will get 1 to 2 lakh rupees monthly salary.
Guys, don't give the EA exam until you are already earning, because you don't have to give EA exam to start earning. But afterwards, it's a feather on your cap, right? So that way you can even pay the registration fee. It's very easy for the EA exam, right? They are US government, so whatever they charge, you have to do that, right? But first earn so that you know the value in spending, right? So when you are starting earning $1,000 or more a month, then you can give it. Okay? Clear? All right, Sagar, let's move. Yeah, this is a good one. We have some bonus opportunities. We'll tell you 6 different types of companies who can employ you. Yeah.
Okay. You want me to move that part?
No. Continue, please.
Okay. So you can also work for Big Fours or CA or CPA firms in India and abroad if you want, or have an advantage while consulting your own international clients, as the qualification lends additional credibility. And for those who want to move abroad, it would become easier to land jobs abroad and even migrate to the US, EU, UAE, or Singapore with this qualification, since businesses from all over the world incorporate US companies and file taxes in the US. EAs can practice from anywhere. You can be sitting in Bali and practicing as an EA in the US. Like you can be a nomad working from anywhere in the world, the global nomad. The global outsourcing market for accounting services is projected to reach $41.7 billion by 2025, with India dominating this market with over 50% market share. This is the global outsourcing market. Means outsourcing your services to other countries. If you qualify as an EA from India, you are sitting on a gold mine of opportunities. What kind of opportunities? Jobs with Big Four in India, especially in their global acceleration centers for US tax filing from India for other clients. Number 2, remote jobs with US or London-based organizations. Number 3, starting their own consulting firms. All these opportunities are there available as a gold mine if you are a EA. Now, how will recession or economic slowdown and new US restrictions affect this opportunity? Let's look at that. Now, during a recession or a slowdown, offshoring tends to increase as firms try to optimize costs and be profitable. Outsourcing to India can cut accounting and tax preparation costs by 50 to 60%. I'm sure you understand that, right? That if the US clients are outsourcing to India, their cost goes down by 50 to 60%, even 70% sometimes. The Bloomberg Tax Survey Insight states that 39% of US companies now outsource some or all their tax compliance work. As per 2023 AICPA survey, 35% of US firms plan to use offshore talent. 94% of C-suite leaders are more willing to outsource, co-source tax work. This is through a KPMG report. And we are sharing all these links as a source of this information on the chat so that you can go through it in detail later on. According to the 2024 EY Tax and Finance Operations Survey, which is called the TFO survey, 54% of tax department leaders say they are rethinking their operating models, and respondents say co-sourcing is the most important change they are considering. Co-sourcing means Some work being done by US people, some work being outsourced from India or other countries. This is an exciting period, by the way. And now I'm going to share this opportunity with you the way I was sharing earlier. Then we move to another part. How will the new tariffs affect tax and compliance work? You know, Donald Trump is putting new tariffs on all the countries, right? Now, rising tariffs and trade barriers are creating additional layers of compliance and documentation for US companies. So, this is good news for us because now, excuse me, there are more compliance work that they have to go through. So, our job increases with new tariffs. This is expected to significantly increase cross-border compliance work, such as custom valuation, duty calculations, import-export tax filings, which skilled professionals in India can effectively manage. All right. So I have a question at this point. We've already shared this with you. So now we are moving to another part. Just hold on for a second. So you can see tariffs is also not going to be a bad news for us. Rather, it will be a good news for us. Just give me 1 second. Excellent, excellent. I'm just seeing the chat and now moving back to my slides. Hold on.
You can fill the preference list if you are interested in pursuing this in greater detail or knowing what's available. It won't be there later on. It won't be there tomorrow. Okay. So we'll move. Yeah. List of employers we should say, huh? This is 413. Who can hire a US enrolled agent? Right?
All right. So what kind of potential employers in the US can you work for? Right? Exactly what Abhiday said. Who can hire enrolled agents? So these are the people. Number one, US CPAs and corporate secretaries. These are our potential clients, your potential clients. Here is an Indian professional who works remotely with the US CPA and corporate secretaries. His name is Subhanshu Shanghai. He is a February 2023 batch from Skill Arbitrage. A final year student assisted various US CPAs and corporate secretaries on projects such as LLC suggestions, H1B tax planning, C Corp filing, LLC dissolutions, filing annual taxes, franchise tax payments, all these skills, right? He started small and now he is earning close to 1 lakh rupees per month. Then another one is services businesses owners. So another potential domain will be service business owners and small businesses in the US. Now these small businesses need cost-effective compliance services because they can't afford the big people, the high budget. They don't have high budget. They can't afford the work with CPAs, corporate secretaries in the US because of their exorbitant charges, very high charges, nor set up any global capacity centers like large corporations. They can't set up their GCCs in India or any other country because they don't have that much budget. You can see corporate secretary salaries in the US anywhere between 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs US dollars. Wow. Then another domain is US startup founders. We already showed you how to reach to startup founders, right? The US has a total of 3.5 million startups alone, which is 35 lakhs. Compare that to India, 3 lakhs. So US has 10 times more startups. It shows here in this chart. US is number 1. Top 20 countries with total startups output. India is number 4. See where US stands. This is US graph. So high as compared to India and any other country for that matter. Startups scale fast and urgently need corporate and tax compliance assistance. They are most willing to work with new entrants in their initial phases. They can also easily pay $10 per hour to someone who can generate value for them. And of course, after they scale, they can pay much higher. They may also be happy to recommend you to CPAs or corporate secretaries that they work with when they scale up. You may wonder, what if they fail, if the startup doesn't work well? That's not a problem because most of the startup founders get jobs with bigger companies in senior roles, even if their startup doesn't go ahead. If you have built relationship with those people, they will be happy to recommend you in those companies. Another domain is e-commerce stores. The US has nearly 14 million e-commerce businesses alone and 3 million Shopify stores in the US. all of which need support for corporate and tax compliance. You can see this article from Charts and Data. It says, with 14 million e-commerce sites, the US is atop the online world. For Indian finance and compliance professionals, this presents a fantastic opportunity to collaborate with e-commerce businesses needing cost-effective compliance solutions. Next domain, which is very important for if you are in that domain of accounting, compliance, tax, bookkeeping, even enrolled agent, US law firms and compliance service firms. So there are 46 lakhs 50,000 plus law firms in US. Wow, 46 lakh law firms in the US, of which 1.6 lakh law firms have just 0 to 20 employees. So they are very small. The need for international remote compliance professionals is most acute for these smaller law firms, which have the need to offer competitive prices to clients. You can see it from this chart here. Year on year, law firms in the US, number of businesses increasing every year. 2025 1st January was 4 lakhs 63,000. Now they need anywhere between 2 to 10 international remote compliance professionals per year for various kinds of work, such as tax and corporate compliance for themselves and their clients also. Assuming an average of 3 tax and compliance professionals per firm, there is a need of at least 4 to 5 lakh international remote professionals. Can you imagine 4 to 5 lakhs need of such professionals is there right now? So here is one example of our learner Bhavna Patel, a final year BCom student, started freelancing after joining our course and earning $30 per hour as a finance assistant for a London-based business dealing with taxation and accounting. Another one domain is compliance tech companies. Now, what are compliance tech companies? The US compliance software and legal tech market is huge. It was valued at $33.1 billion in 2024 and is expected to reach $75.8 billion by 2031. You can see from this chart, 2024, 2031. Global compliance management software market. Growing like anything. So here is someone who works remotely with a US legal tech company, headquartered in Florida. They build compliance software for in-house legal and compliance teams, CPA firms, accounting firms, and US firms. TurboTax is one of the oldest such companies, and so is GoSystem, UltraTax, and OneSource. This market is growing very fast, as I already showed you. They need to hire tax and compliance professionals for regulatory research, product development support, and identify potential regulatory roadblocks so that they can build solutions that work seamlessly across multiple states and international jurisdictions. And they are willing to work with you even if you do not have a formal qualification to practice in the US. Great idea to work with them before you become an enrolled agent, provided you understand basics of the US tax system. Now, do you know what compliance software companies and legal tech companies do? So let me share an example of Samriddhi Jain. She's a student. She's a 5th year college student from Bangalore. Started remote content writing services for international legal tech companies. She is earning 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees per month as a student. Can you imagine? She's just a student in the college, 5th year. This is her profile. Legal writer, legal tech writer and marketer, founder, legal technology marketing. Amazing, right? And bonus is that by learning US tax and compliance work and becoming an enrolled agent, you can also assist clients from other countries like Canada, UK, Singapore, Dubai, Europe, Australia, who are expanding internationally to the US, and they can pay far more than the Indian clients. There are approximately 78 lakh 58,000 foreigners in the world with US entities. 78 lakh, all of whom need to file US tax returns. But there are only 65,000 enrolled agents all over the world. Can you multiply this? What is the ratio? Where it is 78 lakhs potential foreigners who have to file the US as an US entities, tax filing for US, and only 65,000 enrolled agents. These are foreigners, not only US clients. These are people sitting outside US. This is like 1 second, I'll tell you. 100 times bigger, more than 120 times bigger. So once you can perform US work, the market for your services becomes global. But I don't know. You may say, I don't know US corporate and tax compliance work. How difficult is it to learn that? Turns out that it is not very difficult. And we have already been training several young finance, tax, and compliance professionals and students on compliance tasks. Many of the concepts are similar to India, like incorporation, constitutional documents, directors, shareholders, meetings, resolutions, compliance, taxation, etc. But you need to learn about the local nuances and the regulators, which is possible to do within a few months. Absolutely, yes, it is doable. And I'll show you one more skill very soon, and you will realize that how easy it is to prepare for federal tax returns in the US, sitting here in India.
There is something I missed, okay?
Tell me, no problem.
We can continue. Yeah, so you can continue that section, and then I will say more things why it makes sense.
We also have, we should also have our guests here. Just let me check.
After 10 minutes, huh? To do the tax one.
Okay, great. Just give me 1 minute. I need to go to the right slide. Hold on.
Continue where you were.
No, the live interaction has come now.
So, guys, US tax filing is made out to be more difficult than it actually is. We're going to prove it to you and show it to you. Okay, but US is a huge paradise for tax work. They have federal income tax, state income tax, annual and periodic corporate returns, payroll tax, tax on foreigners who run a business in the US, tax on US citizens who live abroad, like a citizen living in UK or India. If they are a US, they are American, they will be taxed. Okay, because they are American citizens. No other country does it. You have to live in that country for it to tax it. They have tax on US citizens. If US citizens have a foreign company where they own majority, they will tax all the US citizens on all the profits of the company. Crazy it is, okay? In India, that tax is only applicable if the money is paid out as profit, if it's paid out as dividend. There they tax it any which ways because you're a foreigner. It's crazy. All right, let's discuss. Let's move.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So let's now create with you the checklist for preparation of federal tax returns. As I said, is the work doable? So let me show it to you that how easy it is for you as an Indian professional to create a checklist and prepare for the federal tax returns for US individual. So let me give you a demo of that. Ready for that? How many of you are ready to take the demo? Come on, tell me quickly on the chat. Write ready if you are ready. Okay, fabulous. A lot of you, right? So let me first tell you, the tax filing market in the US is huge. You can see it from this article, tax preparation service in the US market size, $14.4 billion. And it is well known amongst the US CPAs that they can save up to 70% of their cost if they get the back-end work done through an Indian. How much savings can they do? 70%, which is huge. So instead of paying 100, they will only pay 30. The cost will come down from 100 to 30, like that much percentage. You can see it from this article. Even the people in the US know this. The Indian version of CPA, which is called the CA, compared to CPAs, the CAs are almost as qualified, but there is a considerable difference in their charges for preparing the tax returns. In the US, it charges $176 to $273 to prepare the taxes, federal return taxes. And if you get it done by an Indian, it is between $25 to $50. Can you see the difference? On an average, it is about, I'll tell you how much it is. $230 on an average. And here the average is about $30. $230 and $30. Almost 8 times less. However, not every CPA is able to find a reliable Indian professional to do this kind of work. Why they're not able to find? Because there's not enough talent in India. If you're learning these skills, you have the talent. You can do the track record building. But mostly people are not learning all this right now. So here are the most typical services that you can provide as an Indian compliance professional to CPAs who are in the US. Bookkeeping services, management of accounts reliable or payable, financial analysis and planning, financial statements and report drafting, processing of payrolls, reporting and filing of taxes, cost accounting, forensic accounting. All these services you can provide to US CPAs. So would you like to learn more about this kind of work? I'm sure you do, right? So imagine that you need to assist a CPA in preparation of tax return for his client. Now the client is an individual. It's not a company, it's an individual. It could be a business owner or he could be an employee working somewhere. Simple scenario. Now how do you go about the task? You will first need to get certain preparatory work done. Now what kind of preparatory work? If you are a CA in India or you have worked in a CA company, you would know this is the kind of work even in India you have to do it. The first thing you need to have is a personal information that enables the IRS to identify the person. Now, what kind of personal information? Social security number, similar to Aadhaar number in India. The person's full name, exactly as it appears on the social security card, date of birth, home address, copy of last year's federal and state tax returns, bank account details for receiving any refund claims from the US government. These are the basic things. In India also you need all these things. You would need such details for any Indian client as well. Yes or no? How many of you would say yes to that? That you would need this kind of information for Indian clients also? Please tell me in the chat. Yes or no? Absolutely yes, right? Very good. Now let us move to the procedure of preparation of the return. You will need certain forms and documents. Now what are the different categories of forms that will be required? Simple. First is forms for reporting income. Of course, if you're filing taxes, you need to know the income. Second is documentation of expenses. Third is documentation of deductions. What kind of deductions will happen for the, from your income?
Just 1 second, Sagar. Is this similar for how you calculate tax in India? India is now getting easier, but all of you are India used to have right expenses for a lot of professionals, not salaried people. Salaried people had only HRA and 2, 3 kinds of deductions. That is going away now if you are choosing a new tax regime. But otherwise, if you are a consultant, professional, business owner, then you have to do minus the expenses. So you'll say that paperwork though, bills though, credit card pay statements though, right? And there were some deductions that government allowed you, right? 80G, 80D, all of those for insurance, this, that. And then there is a concept of tax credit. So we are telling you that US is very similar like that to India. Let's move. Yeah. Some of you don't know this. You may not have worked in Indian tax process, which is okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. So these are the 4 things. Okay. Last one I had not mentioned. It is forms and documentation for tax credits. Now, after we have all these documents, we can fill out the income tax return. So let's look at the first part. Forms of reporting income. How do you report income in US? All forms for reporting income start with the number 1099. I'll show you the link also. We are sharing this link with you. I will take you through some of the most important ones and the scenarios when they are applicable. So let's go through different scenarios. So first scenario we are sharing with you is if the client has lost his job and was earning an unemployed benefit. You should know that in US there is an unemployment benefit you get from the government. You get some money from the government every month if you are unemployed. In the US, as I said, the unemployment benefit is provided by the government. It can be claimed if one loses his job. However, the IRS taxes it at the regular personal income tax rate. They still have to pay the tax even if they're getting this unemployment money from the government. Now, for this kind of income, to report this kind of income, there's a form called 1099G for unemployment income. How it looks like, I'm showing it to you on the screen. We are sharing these links also with you. This is how this forms looks like. 1099G. Here you have to mention about the details of the income. Okay. The name, address, payers, TIN number. TIN number is like PAN number in India. Recipient's name, street address, all these details. Simple. How much money was received from the government, all of. Now, same way, this is in duplicate copies, different copies. Same information you have to put in 3 copies. Copy 1, copy 2, copy 3. Like that. Simple, very plain and simple. Let's look at another scenario. If the client has invested in stocks and he has earned some dividend or sale of stocks. In that case, you will have to file 1099 DIV. That's the name of the form. For dividends. Or there's another one for sale of stock, 1099B. These are the names of the forms. I'll show you a whole list of different forms very soon. We'll share that link also with you. Another scenario is the client has earned some interest income. Then which form has to be filled? Form 1099 INT. INT for interest. That has to be filed for that, for interest income. If the client has earned a rental income or sale of property, Form 1099 miscellaneous, MISC. If the property is sold, then Form 1099S, S for sale. You can see it's very, very simple. For miscellaneous, it's MISC. For sale of property is S. So, very basics, very simple. Another scenario, if the client was providing independent or freelance consulting services, then which form has to be filled? In case of freelance, it is called 1099 NEC or 1099K, showing income earned by an independent contractor. Another scenario, if the client owns a business which is not a C Corp. In the US, income of all businesses other than C Corp is added back to the income of the individual. Very simple, right? If it's not a C Corp, if it's LLC, LLP or S Corp, then the income is added to the individual income and the individual has to file the taxes. Now imagine that the client runs a LLC and he has earned a profit of $2 lakh. All that is added to the income of the individual. So there's a schedule called Schedule K1 that needs to be filed for such a kind of income. Another scenario, income from insurance or other saving distributions. Apart from this, you must also always ask for information about distributions from a health saving account. Like in the US, there is something called health saving account, a tax saving plan, etc. All right. So there are forms which are 1099 forms for them as well. So here is a list of all these 1099 forms. I'm sharing this link with you and I'm showing it to you also. All 1090 forms.
Sagar, did you manage to show any of these forms? They're very easy PDFs, like
yeah, one I've shown.
Okay.
The first one I shown for the
great. So how do you find it? We could go into a lot of details. Sagar, you'll need to reload the PPT. But do you feel that ये किया जा सकता है? I could ask you, you're getting unemployment benefit or some other benefit, interest payment. Which form will you show? Which form will you say put the deduction? You'll remember, right? G was government benefit, INT was interest, right? So many easy ways to remember. G for government, right? DIV for dividend. So many are there like that. Awesome.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry. This list is in front of you. You can see all the details are given here.
And in Enroll Legend, they'll ask you these things. And it will be MCQ. Now you can remember and fill it. But now you understood that marking that form number and filling the form is different. So if you go like that, you will see that the salary of enrolled agents, depending on what skill level you have, will differ. Base 5x more you can get if you know how to do the work. If you don't know how to do the work and you just went and cleared exam, you will not get earnings, right? Usse acha to without enrolled agent, you can do the practical work you will get. This is why we are saying that you learn how to do the work, build a track record and outreach, and then give this exam so that you have the feather in your cap. Okay? Shruti Konka is asking if it is easy why young ones are not taking up taxation. I'm going to share an article with you. Okay, I'm going to share it here on chat. Sagar, just if you may stop sharing for a moment.
Yeah.
Are enrolled agents finally having a moment? They are telling in the US that there are 6 lakh CPAs but only 65,000 enrolled agents. So nobody knows about this. And they are saying that lack of a degree requirement means that colleges are not promoting it. They are promoting CPA, they are not promoting enrolled agent, even though it's easier. And they are saying here that firms are interested कि somebody has enrolled agent designation, they are making them partner also. This is in US. तो मान सकते हो कि इंडिया में what is the value of this now, right? All the Indian KPOs are going to show off that we have enrolled agents on our payroll. Your client also, you can directly tell that, okay, I'm an enrolled agent, right? Okay, all right, Sagar. Let me know if you're ready.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sharing the slide once again, going forward in the in the same skill. So the second part, the first part was the documents for the responding to your income, like how to declare your income. Now, documentation for expenses. So you have the opportunity to set off certain categories of expenses, especially for self-employed people and business owners. This is very similar to India. If I'm a business owner and I have certain income and certain expenses, then when you minus that, then you calculate the taxes, right? The same principle applies in India. Consultants, professionals, and business owners can deduct business expenses. So, what are the documents that you need? If the person is self employed, you will need records of all business expenses and income. If the person works from home, for example, the US has specific provisions for usage of your home for office purposes. And you will also need documentation for home office expenses, including square footage of home that is being used exclusively for business. And how to calculate that? It is here in this link. I'm just showing it to you once. You can read it through later on when you have more time. But in the US, doing the work as a for taxation and everything, things are very, very simple. This website will tell you how to deduct your home office on your taxes. Basic things, very simple things. What is the home office deduction and who qualifies for it? What are the requirements to take the home office deduction on your tax returns? Guys, do you find this simple? How to claim the home office deduction? Everything is given on the website. How do you find it? Do you find it simple and doable? So far, we have still more things to cover in this skill. But so far, how many of you find it doable and simple? It's easy. Absolutely yes, right? In addition, you will need to have the record of assets for depreciation. So how many of you are familiar with depreciation in India? The US also allows for depreciation. If people who are working in this domain, you would know how depreciation is calculated on the assets, right? Similar way for US. You will need to record for travel expenses for business purposes, same as in India. Then comes documentation for deductions. The US has an option to claim the standard deduction, like in India, or itemized deductions, depending on the taxpayer's choice. Very similar to India. The deduction reduces the taxable income. Now, what kind of deductions are available in the US? Out of pocket medical expenses can be deducted, certain insurance premiums, mortgage interest, everything is very similar to India. Various state taxes, charitable donations like ATG in India. Simple. These deductions will reduce your income so that you have to pay less tax. So if you claim itemized deductions, you will need to fill a Schedule A of Form 1040. This is the personal income tax return. I'll show it to you in a little while. Then fourth thing comes tax credits. Again, similar to India. Separately, you can get direct reduction against your tax amount owed. This is called tax credit. If your taxable liability is say 10,000 US dollars, it could be reduced if you have a child. The US government allows 3,600 tax credit per child every year. If you have two children, 7,200 US dollars is anyways tax credit to you. Similarly, credits are available for adopting a child. You must have seen a lot of celebrities, a lot of US people, they keep adopting children. Why do they do that? Because they get tax credit also. Maybe they have personal reasons also to do that, but I'm just saying this is one thing where they get tax credit. Then education related credits, especially if you get lifetime learning credits. So they promote more and more people learning even in the older ages, like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, you can learn. And when you learn, you get tax credit for that. Once you have all these ready, you are ready to fill the income tax return now. Now, which return needs to be filed? You must file tax return called Form 1040. This is a tax return for individuals. Or no, let me show it to you. Let me show this form to you. It's very simple. This is very similar to again Indian income tax return, US individual income tax return. You can read through it if you want. Your details, basic details, your name, last name, first name, your address, your TIN number, which is PAN number like in India. Then, is it for married couple or is it for single? Digital assets, standard deduction, dependent details, income, all your income details, along with the attached forms that we showed you earlier. Then tax and credits, any payments, which are all the expenses, any refund, amount you owe, third party designee, and then you sign here. So this is the how the form looks like. Very simple, very similar to India. All the information that you have collected now can be now utilized and keyed into the form. Some of the 1099 forms may need to be attached as well. When you're making a payment, you must adjust any taxes that are already paid to the IRS. Now, these are two types of taxes, advanced taxes, like in India again. Estimated tax payment. This is equivalent to advanced tax in India. It must be paid by businesses and independent freelancers. Plus, second one is any withholding tax deducted by an employer, like Form 16A in India, right? The form which is similar to 16 or 16A in India is W2 in US. And of course, there may be a few more forms in specialized situations, but we wanted you to get a hang of it. Now, if you're looking at C corporation, if it is not an individual but a income tax filing of C corporation, that you need to file a form called 1120. Again, very similar to 1040. The list of forms will be you will attach can be different. This form needs to be filed whether or not there is a taxable income. If you are running a C corp, then this form has to be filed every year. In case of companies, the return must be signed and dated by any of the president or vice president, treasurer, assistant treasurer, chief accounting officer, or any other corporate officer specifically authorized by the company to sign. If you are doing it for a foreigner, you will file form 1040 NR. NR is non-resident. There will be many foreigners like Canadians, Indians, etc., who are based outside the US but have incorporated companies there. You will need to file this form for them. And we will teach you how to fill these forms in the course. If you will be part of our course, the form is filed online or offline. In certain cases, filing it online becomes mandatory. The corporation's return needs to be filed at the IRS addresses listed below. We are sharing this also as a link. It can be filed online in certain cases or otherwise sent by a normal post. Now, these are the different addresses at which it has to be filed. Excuse me. Sorry. So if your company or your individual client is from these states, then this is the addresses. These states, this is the address. And why are there two different addresses? In case your client's income is more than 10 lakhs or $10 million, then this is the address. If it is less than $10 million, then this is the address. And in these states, all of them same address, like that. Certain corporations with total assets of $10 million or more are required to file the forms online. As an Indian CE or CS or a student or other compliance professional, you can help in preparation of the forms. You can't file it directly, like you can do 99% of the work by doing all the preparation work. Then filing is done by an authorized e-filer in the US, which could be a CPA or a corporate secretary. But you basically perform 90% of the work and you help the e-filer. Now, when you help the e-filer, you can also charge for a good handsome amount. You understand that? And they will also benefit from it because they will be paying less. So do you find this work understandable? Can you learn it with some guidance and practice? Okay, guys, write ED, easy and doable. If you find it easy and doable. I know we spent just few minutes, but the idea was that you understand that it is doable. It is not rocket science. With some guidance, some learning, and some spending time and practice and then feedback, you can learn it and you can also do it for your clients. Extraordinary, right? Simple. I can see hundreds of you writing ED. Fabulous. Great. Okay, so at this stage, I have somebody. Let me just check if we have a guest here. Millie, can you tell me on the chat if we have? 1 second, I'll just check.
Anjali is not here, so you can continue with the CPA networking.
Sure. Abhishek, can you just take over for 5 minutes? I just quickly go to the loo and come back.
Yeah. Okay. So how many of you want to learn how to network with CPAs? By the way, there is a little bonus opportunity also in India. One is the MNC jobs angle, because there are 700 to 1,000 more MNCs going to set up in India. Did you know that? And not just Big Four. Big Four also have that same model. They service their US center. So, and all the global filings for their international offices they do for US from India. But other MNCs are setting up even in tier 2, tier 3 cities. About 700 to 1,000 new MNCs in the next 5 years. Today already India is 1,700. So it's not that you just have to go for those jobs. 700 to 1,000 more are setting up. That is one good news. Then India is also having an electronic manufacturing revolution. So we are going to have FDI in manufacturing sector, which is going to increase 5 times to $500 billion. Now, why is this happening? Because companies want an alternative. You all were saying that Trump tariff se kya hoga? So the companies want an alternative to China in the manufacturing supply chain because they fear a trade war and it could impact logistics and operations. So they are aggressively setting up shop in India. Now these are going to be US companies also. So unko bhi you can assist with the filing because their manufacturing operation will be here. So this is going to increase the number of Indian jobs that are available even in India, which are office jobs. Okay, you can choose whichever kinds of jobs you want. Now, do you want to know? 1 second, I think Sagar missed the paradise one. So now what I wanted to tell you was you saw the income tax part, right? Now, did you realize that US tax filing is hyped up a lot, made out to be more difficult than it actually is? Now we are going to give you a list of all these 10 similarities. Okay, I'm not sure if this was shared earlier. I hope I'm not repeating it, but we will share that with you. And US is a paradise for tax work. We showed why. Correct? So we shared here. These are all the tax amazing assignments you can do as an enrolled agent. You have an advantage. Technically, you are authorized to do federal return filing. Lot of enrolled agents do state filings. You represent before IRS. They have virtual Zoom proceedings. You go to IRS website, you will see Zoom proceedings. No other country has so much tax work. Okay, this is the magic. Now, how many of you we have invited to BCom grads also to actually to share their experience with you or doing this work? They started with some remote compliance, sometimes even assisting CPAs or startups, and then they started doing more business related work also. You can choose whether you want to go in that direction or just continue assisting businesses with regular tax work, right? But how many of you want to learn how to network with CPAs? Tell me on chat. Final frontier, right? US CPA 6 lakh. Let us show you how to find them and network with them. So you can search on the internet for CPA directory in any state. Okay, I'm going to share here. This is one state I'm showing you. Okay, CPA directory. This link will be dropped on chat. Okay, and you go here, choose a state. You can choose your favorite state, but don't choose like Alaska and all. वहाँ पर मतलब बहुत कम population है. Okay, so choose a Florida type of state which has a lot of work. Okay, now you see there are so many CPAs. How many are there? Let's see, 18,000. There are only now 500 people started in this bootcamp. 590 right now. There are approximately 353 after 2.5 hours. Right? You can see here Gary Kaplan, Robert Manella. You can go to any of their websites. Okay, and you will see his website, and you will check क्या कर रहे हैं वो. Does he have a firm? What is the situation? This is his website. Okay. Now, can you imagine? These are very senior people. I'll take you to his LinkedIn also. He is doing this kind of ad. Call us. We respond within 24 hours of your request. You will call, it will go to their voicemail, right? But do you understand? They have no email list. They are sharing no insights. It's just a page, right? Maybe he has a blog. Let's see when he posted last. 2 years back, he posted last on tax planning strategies for small businesses. Now, see, you are preparing for that exam, right? Okay, Anjali, just 2 minutes. You're preparing for that CPA exam, that enrolled agent exam. and you can share tax planning strategies for small businesses. You can update this stuff. You can do new things. You can find Gary Kaplan on you. You can help him write ebooks also if you want on US tax strategies. You can find Gary Kaplan here, right? Gary Kaplan. Okay, and you can find it. Sorry, you can link it from the CPA site also. You can find him from here. He has not submitted his LinkedIn. So I have to find him from the net. He's in Florida. Let me see if I can dig him out. This is New York. Maybe he's moved to New York. Okay, sometimes they move. So I can message this person. Correct? I can message him here. His DM is open, it seems. Yeah, CFO for non-profits. He will want some tax assistance, some detailed routine scrutiny, something he will want, right? So I can reach out to him and network. What message we will send him, I'll show you after we speak to Anjali. But you realize you could find CPAs everywhere in the whole of US. What do you say? You can go there again, right? We go back, we find others. We had 18,000 in Florida. I'll do Texas. Let's see how many I will find. Crazy. 68,000. Whoa. Excited? We'll tell you what message to send. But if you can't do any work, don't know US system, can't write article, kuch nahi hoga. So you have to learn how to do these things. Okay? Alright. We're going to move to speak with Anjali. Sagar is going to speak with Anjali. And Anjali, thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here.
Welcome, Anjali.
Yeah, hi.
Great to see you again.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. The pleasure is mine.
Great, great. Thank you for joining us. And Anjali, would you like to share where you're logging in from? What do you currently do? And how has skill arbitrage helped you in the process?
Okay, so I'm logging in from Indore, and I currently work as almost like a manager of finance operations, now even sales in a US-based IT conglomerate. And I take care of their day-to-day business operations, finance, now sales, and strategy, so on and so forth. And I joined skill arbitrage courses in May 2023, and I got this job in December 23. And ever since then, yeah, I have been working here. I joined this boot camp named Boot Camp of Skill Arbitrage, named How Do Indian Students Get US Jobs, something or the other. There was this one webinar that you guys used to do. I was
Yeah, we
actually
we
one
did
of the
something for commerce students.
Yes, exactly. So I was on the other side of the things, and I did join that boot camp. Then I fought with my parents. No, I want to do this course. Please let me do it, because CA was not working out for me. And yeah, the rest is history.
What is the history?
So to tell the students, the participants, the history, they don't know.
Okay. So I have a BCom background, and right after my school, in when I graduated my school in 2019, and right after that I started pursuing CA, and I was in the 99% of the crowd with multiple attempts, multiple failed attempts that too in CA intermediate, and it was not working out for me because I was not interested. By after some years, you start losing interest, right? Um, then I was like very desperate. At that time, I was working very hard on my exams, but in 2023, I realized, okay, I need to do something else. Then I came across the boot camp ad on Instagram, literally.
Right.
And I signed up for this 3-day boot camp of skill arbitrage. I attended this, and I was convinced that, yeah, I am going to take this boot camp. I already have a lot of experience in accounting because of CA. My concepts and everything is clear. So let me take this leap of faith. And then I joined this course. And little did I know it would turn my life around. It would be my savior. So in May 2023, I joined this course. Okay, I also gave my CA attempt then. Then I was also preparing for November 2023 attempt for my CA intermediate group 2. And meanwhile, I was also doing the course. Like there are a bundle of courses that I got. I was pursuing it. I was working with some clients here and there, some article writing, some research paper, something or the other, like very small gigs, a very small. In
Learning
November
skills.
20,
Sorry to interrupt, but you were learning skills with the skill arbitrage courses,
yes,
and
yes,
you were also applying those skills, building your network. You had started doing
yes,
all this.
yes. I started doing this US accounting and bookkeeping course.
Right.
I did it wholeheartedly. And then I was also me simultaneously pursuing virtual assistant course.
Hmm.
And there was this freelancing and networking LinkedIn optimization course, which I was doing. I was continuously attending all the classes and everything while I was also preparing for my November attempt of CA. Okay, so by November, almost like by November, I had a good grasp on US accounting and bookkeeping because of the course, because there were a lot of practical assignments. Like literally, the homework that we were given was actually, I used it as my portfolio later
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
showcase the clients that, okay, yeah, I know this is what I have learned, these are the skills that I have. Then
Hmm.
I was continuously networking on LinkedIn and various platforms because I was taught how to network,
Right.
what cold emails to send, what cold messages to send, how to speak to people, what kind of people to speak to, how to optimize your profile, mock interview sessions, resume building. I did a lot of Siddharth Priya sir from Skill Arbitrage. He helped me with resume building because I had nothing on my resume except for CA, right? So he told me like how to build your resume and then how to attend mock like interviews, how to say it, how to speak, what kind of answers, what should be the structure of answers, everything. I took multiple mock interviews also, and then so in November 2023, I decided that that's it. I am pausing CA for now and let me get a job.
Hmm.
That was my plan.
So you,
Okay.
instead of getting CA, you found a job.
Yeah, so that was my plan, and I started applying those networking skills that I learned at Skill Arbitrage. Exactly like the blueprint I was using that I was given from Skill Arbitrage, the confidence actually to
Right.
network. Even
Right.
after like multiple attempts, you lose your confidence often, right? So
Right.
all of these skills that I learned at Skill Arbitrage, I was applying it in real life. In November, I decided I will start networking and get a job. And
Hmm.
on December 21st, I had my offer letter from this company.
Wow.
This is a US based company, and I was hired as a financial analyst.
Wow.
And in March, I was promoted to finance manager, March
Wow.
of 2024. And then in August, I was again promoted to director of operations. And
Wow.
then later, right now I have converted it into founder's office role where I do everything.
Wow. This was December 2023, so almost 1.5 years back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got this job, and you, how many promotions you got since then?
I have gotten like three promotions, but then this is like an early age startup, okay? And I had all the skills that they were looking for: US accounting and bookkeeping. I had good communication skills. I knew how to pitch because I was taught at Skill Arbitrage. I was actually like Priyanka ma'am used to tell us, like, this is how you pitch clients. All of this trainings, real life, new age skills that one requires, I
Oh,
was given at and I was taught at Skill Arbitrage.
wow. And let me ask you, I'm not sure, will you be comfortable to sharing your current remuneration in your job? If you can, then nothing like it. But what kind of increase have you seen since you started? Or at least you can share where you started and how much percentage you've increased. We'll calculate ourselves.
So for obvious reasons, I cannot disclose the exact amount. I hope you guys understand that. But then when I was hired, I was a fresher, so I was getting paid as at par with Indian industry standards as a fresher. Okay, and I was mind you, I was not a CA. I was just a pre-com graduate. Okay,
Correct.
uh, and then I got like around in March, I got almost like 200% hike. And
Double.
then in
Double or
August,
triple?
yes, yes, double, triple, sorry, 200% hike. And then in August, I got again in August. I got 100% hike once again because
Another
like my
100%.
role. Yes, my role changed.
Oh
Right.
my God.
That is why. In fact, to give you the current scenario, I just in March, I think, in March or February, I hired one person from Skill Arbitrage, one student from Skill Arbitrage as an associate.
For the company or for your personal support
No, for the company.
of the company? Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you can, if you have to say in one line, would you say that you're super happy with your performance?
I'm actually super happy that Skill Arbitrage found me and I took the leap of faith with this institute and bought that bundle of courses because this wherever I'm right now, it won't be possible without the skills that one has to have to
Yeah.
break into such kind of markets and industries, right? New
Yeah.
age skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm super happy that I got in touch with Skill Arbitrage and learned all these skills.
Yeah. And being a BCom graduate as a qualification, the amount of money you're earning in today's time and at the age that you're at right now, I would personally think that it's an extraordinary accomplishment.
Definitely.
Like,
Definitely.
do you think
Because
in India you can earn such kind of money with this
I
qualification
mean that
with clients?
it's next to impossible. I mean, somebody has to be like very resilient and has to do all the right things and be in all the right rooms, and some bit of nepotism would be required for that.
Yeah, so it's not normal. It's not normal from Indian perspective.
Yes,
But if you are working for
definitely.
US clients or international clients, it is workable. It is doable. If you
It
learn the
is
skills,
totally,
if you learn the
totally,
skills, you
totally.
know how to do
Yes,
outreach
yes.
and you know how to build your track record.
Yes. Those kind of clients exactly look for the kind of skills that Skill Arbitrage is bringing into the market. Okay, the
Right.
communication skills, the proposal writing or pitching or cold emailing,
Mm.
and the technical skills like accounting, US accounting, all of these things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect, Anjali. Thank you so much. And how's your family responding to your performance and to your accomplishments? Are they happy with your, what do they say?
Yeah, they are definitely happy, and